Hello. I am going to be alive this time. What happened last time? I did y'all dirty. I'm so sorry. Thank y'all for doing all the cool things and not burning my channel down. Better luck tonight. Exactly, better luck tonight. I feel decent. I know other people are live right now, so go support them. Clowntown, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to explain what we're going to do in the video. I'm going to play the intro, and we're going to come back. Okay, here we go. Doug and Thea Wood are top leaders in Optavia, and they recently put on a conference, and an informant sent me all of the videos. And when I tell you they are twisty, I am not kidding. We've heard parents outing their kids' medical stuff and their emotional things they're going through, attempts to unalive themselves and sharing it in front of 4,000 people. We have seen them using religious manipulation to get people further and keep them further into the group. We've seen fatphobia. We've seen some classism. We've seen so many things. It's the content warning of content warnings. When I say it's twisty here, don't get slimed. So if this is not the video for you, that's fine. Take care of yourself. You're always more important than a watch or analytics or anything like that. I will take a pity like, but yeah. Let me go ahead and roll the intro and I'll be BRB. Hello, I'm back. Danielle and Gina and Joanna, Amanda, Aaron, Sam, Jenny, Eliza, Ladies on Lions, Tatiana, Dave, Micaiah, howdy, Savannah, what's up? Savannah's gonna join me for a Zoom infiltration tomorrow, and when I tell you I'm excited, I am super excited. Clary T, hello. Y'all did make it. Blaze Goddess, howdy. Oh no, you failed to go to sleep again. I'm sorry, Clary T. I hope that I can help you fall asleep with. Apparently, my voice is sleep inducing for people, so I hope that you can listen and fall asleep. Yes, I need to go back and reread the rest of them. I feel so.
I feel so bad. Like, so bad. So bad. Ooh,
I will say I'm going to try to not do that again. I'm just going to have to like not schedule anything and just go live when I feel good. Because last night I thought in the beginning of the day, I'm having a good day. And then I had like a kind of like a big kind of pain, situation. And then it wore me out. And so then I fell asleep. And then I was like, oh, shoot. If y'all don't know, let me go ahead and put the 𝐔𝐄𝐃 countdown timer on because I know that YouTube has rolled it back, but I want people, if you want to enjoy my content for 13 minutes without cussing, we're going to do that. How do I do this? 13 minutes. Well, I guess 10 minutes, but we'll just do 13 because, y'all are the best. 13. And can I do it? Zing, Rust Base? Yes. Let's go. 𝐔𝐶 countdown timer. And we'll put this in all of the... Let's put it over here. Does this annoy y'all that I do this live? I'm sorry. Oh my god. Anxiety. What is going on? Okay. We're going to play a game. I'm glad y'all like each other so much because Lord knows. I messed up. I screwed up big time. Sam and Igor. Howdy. Well, dang it. Oh, no. Rootin' a being. Howdy. We're not mad. The live chat last night was fun. I will make sure to reread it. Thank you. It's a little nest of, you see this? I have a large head. Y'all know my extra large hats I have to buy. Oh my God, my camera. I said this on my Instagram live. I'm not trying to rub it in your faces. I'm just saying, like, it had to go up. It's so hot. And, like, I was embarrassed to go live because, like, it's just a mound of, I say awfulness. I'm not going to be an asshole. It's my own little heat source, you know? Michelle, I'm here, but I'm grocery shopping. Love that for you, Chelsea. Okay. If things go smoothly, I start to worry. You know what, Dave? Dave knows. Dave's in charge here most of the time when he's not late. He's absolutely in charge. That's a joke. Celeste, hello. I was just not swearing with my dang it. Okay. Yes. I would give y'all my hair. I really would. Yes. If you can, listen to DJ.
With the screw.
That's Amber from the Snark Cruise Kid, and it's a whole good moment. So let me go ahead and where should I put this? We're gonna figure this out. We're going to minimize this. We're gonna close this out over here. I'm gonna put this down here, and can I window? Of course you're not gonna do that. Of course. Hello. All right. We don't need our sound, do we? I don't think we do. Maybe we do. And we are going to open up the game because we just need a buffer. I'm going to do a craft stream one day to do this. Crossover. I'm on a Mac and the game I play can only be played on a Windows, so I have a bottle that the program loads into that pretends to be a Windows computer. So let me get that open. Optavia is a multi-level marketing program that is all about weight loss. We hate it here. And not only in this group, not only in Doug and Thea's downline, but it's religious manipulation out the wazoo. So we're going to play Dreamlight Valley. There is an event going on. And it's super fun. And I have only... Let's go. Open. Okay. Oh, let's go. Overlays need to come over here. Okay. And Roadcaster's on. I don't... All right. Let me go and get the Vimeo. Optavia is an ED factory. Indeed. And let me go over here. Reaction. Overlays. Scenes. Reaction to the right. Okay. So close. All right. We are a little bit... Primary display. Can I unlock? Was I ready for this? No. Do. I've been wanting to watch Star Wars. I know some of y'all don't like Star Wars, but I do. Why is this? Let me add it again. Can I do eCam Finder? Is it this one? Is it this one? Yes. Sorry, we're just getting set up here. I am this type of student too, so I'm like late and I'm like, oh my God. I'm a little bit late. I'm not super late on stuff, but I'm also like, let me fly by the seat of my pants. It's so much fun. Okay. Here we go. Lock. All right. We're back. I'm going to the hairdresser's tomorrow for a skin. Oh my God. I pulled it over. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Are you gonna fall over? You are? What an asshole. Are you still gonna fall over? I just hit myself in the head. My stream's still going though. Great. I'm always flying by the seat of my pants. Yes. Sam, do you want to stream sometime? Look, I know. Savannah's like, can I ask you questions? And I was like, sure. But, you know, like technical difficulty city is me, you know? This is very eventful. It is. You know, what did you do last night? Well, I was watching this YouTuber who does anti-MLM content and her light hit her in the head. Yep. I know. It's a little bit, so not that it matters. Let me fix my lighting now because it's way too freaking bright. Well, I guess it's not. Why is there a shadow in the corner? Nope. Well, I have these mounted to my wall. So like this big light, I only brought one with me, and you're not supposed to mount it on this holder I have it on. It's for little lights, and it decided it was not happy. So here we are. All right. Let me get Doug and Thea up. 1 second. Sorry, I was just excited to stream, and I was like, I'm not going to let them down this time. And here I am getting hit in the head with my own light. Okay. And I wasn't able to download these from Vimeo because of Vimeo being sassy. So we've done Thursday. We've done the entire opening ceremony, and it took us 6 hours to get through it. Y'all, in Clowntown is also live right now, so if this is not your cup of tea, definitely go support them. They are incredible. They're super funny. They are careful about mental health, and they're inclusive. And they do super fun streams. Okay. I'm looking for it. Oh, I should just go to Tish. I sent them all to Tish. Hold on. Tish is also a great streamer. Okay, Friday session 1, Thursday opening. Here we go. Copy link. Here we go. We're ready. 13 minutes in. Oh, we got 3 minutes left before 𝐔𝐄𝐃 countdown. Okay, let's go. Level up. I want to do a reel just snarking the hell out of this and then do the level up song. Okay. I don't want them to know who's watching this. Edit. Google. And we'll just play this on top. And we'll save this for the next stream so I'm not messing this up. Do I know why their aspect ratio is wild? Nope. Sure don't. Where would y'all like it? Do you want it over here? Wait, what? Friday session. Okay, there you go. I can't do full screen because I don't have my monitors here, so what am I going to do? Nope. There we go. Let's try it. Is that good? Is that okay? 2 minutes left. Why is this like this? It all sticks. Seriously, what the hell?
That's the problem. When you're committed, you ain't
Where
gonna
is
feel
it?
like it. You're not gonna always feel like it. Got really quiet in here. I better move on, Thea. This is pissing people off. We need to move on. Okay. When you've taken personal responsibility for a pain point and you've committed to your life or your health or your future or getting out of debt and you've confronted generational curses that have came over me and you start to create and see a future, you get really passionate about something.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Doug Wood.
God.
Good morning, family! Good morning, good morning, good morning. Take a seat. Let's get to work. Everyone feeling good after last night?
Nope.
That's an assumed yes. I don't like to make assumptions, but after last night, how could you not? That was awesome. Good to see everyone. Everyone's smiling today, too. A couple people still coming in late, but I ain't going to talk about you right now.
You just did.
No one would ever know if you're walking in right now. No one would have a clue. We're one big family. We drink coffee together. Well, I was going to say we pee together, but we really don't. We all go at different times, and we're going to have some fun today. It's going to be a great, amazing, amazing, amazing day. Yeah, look at you guys. You guys are a good-looking bunch. Absolutely. Well, let's get to work.
Let me turn off.
Man, that is us. That is us. T and I, that is
Sorry, I'm just trying to fix it
us.
real quick.
But who are we?
Shut up, Doug.
Who are we? Who is Optavia? I think last night was a great representation. Would you agree? Who is Optavia? You know, I got a different vantage point when I became a coach 14 years ago. I had the privilege of meeting
Sorry, I want to make it on brand.
the founder of Medifast, Brad McDonald. And when I met Brad in 2009, I knew just by the way that he started his convention and the way that he got up
Can
and
y'all hear?
shared his heart and his vision to get the world healthy. As
Is that
him and
good?
Dr. A came together on that stage, I said, this is two men that I can follow. And the amazing thing was, as we began to grow, I found out what Brad stood for. See, Brad started Medifast in 1980. He had a dream, he had a vision to create a product that could help people lose weight and prepare for weight loss surgery, because there were no tools. It was get people's weight off to where they could actually have a surgery, because there was no healthy habits. Maybe there were healthy habits. Dr. A hadn't written the Habits of Health yet. He was still saving people in critical care, and there was nothing more that he could do. And so when a product like Medifast that was created in 1980 stands on its own, only distributed through doctors' offices.
That's not true.
Dr. A comes along, leaves the Cleveland Clinic, and says, you know what, Brad, you have an amazing product. I mean, people are losing weight all over. You're even in People magazine, yes, back in the late 1990s. You're helping people lose weight, but the problem is people aren't making lasting change.
Oh. Sorry.
Dr. A,
Sorry.
I got this Habits of Health system. What if we created something
Is that good?
stood on a product? See,
Sorry,
what's interesting
it was
about our
echoing.
business is a product was created
Sorry.
20 years
Let me know if that's
before
better.
a business and a compensation plan was created. Think about that for a moment. I don't want to get into anything out there because really there's nothing to compare. But most every other thing you will find out there, a business was created, a compensation plan was created, and then a product was created. Our product stands on its own. So Tia and I come on, I lose 64 pounds, Tia lose 40 pounds. We start helping people get healthy. I'm like, man, this is awesome. Start helping a lot of people get healthy. A couple years later, unfortunately, Brad McDonald passed away.
Okay.
And left the company.
Kirsty, the countdown timer's
obviously,
done.
to his brother, who stepped in and ran the company for about 5 to 7 years before actually bringing.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's for some reason it pulled in system audio and my main stereo audio, which should be my microphone and anything on my system. So technical difficulties. We're besties here. If you're just joining us, we're playing a game. I almost knocked myself out again. Oh my God. I just weighed it down with something, so we're good. Ooh, sorry. Doug and Thea Wood put on a conference in a church in Arizona. It had 4,000 people there. And Doug is at the top of his... Well, I don't know if he's at the top, but he's at the top of his own pyramid. And his upline, the Castros, are just as twisty as he is. And so are the Tinters, which are his downline. And so are the 𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐃. So... it's just twisty here. If you don't already know, Aaron covers Optavia, and so do some other creators cover it too. Merch idea, team technical difficulties. Yes, I'm also making a shirt right now, produced with technical difficulties. It's gonna be. I'm still drawing it, but hopefully it's gonna be good. It's gonna be like tone on tone. Gray with black, or like purple with dark purple, or something like that. And there's going to be like doodles all over it. And I'm putting doodles from like all the people I've streamed with, like Savannah. I'm going to have a pop dart in there for her cat. Clown Town, I'm going to have a little circus tent in there. Aaron and Julie Joe. Oh, Julie Joe's getting a donut because that's her members are donuts. Aaron, I'm still thinking about it. Julie Anderson, I'm still thinking about hers too. So I'm just trying to like put little Easter eggs in it, but I'm working on it.
Bringing in Dan Shard, who's our current CEO. And they created this award called the Bradley McDonald Award. And if you look on the top left screen,
yes, Pop-Tart.
On the left hand side of the screen, it says leadership, integrity, passion, teamwork, patriotism, and courage. That is what Brad McDonald stood for, the founder and the creator of Medifast. And I'm forever grateful for Brad. I'm forever grateful for Dr. Ray. And I had the honor of TNI in 2015 for winning the award. And it was an award that was given that was non-measurable. It was non-rankable. You couldn't earn it. You had to live it. And somewhere, I don't know who the powers were at be, they chose a few coaches, one coach a year, that would receive that award that represented that. TNI.
By definition, you have to earn it. So you earn it with people's public perception of you as a leader. They're literally still earning it. He's just saying you can't monetarily get it. Doug? Oh my gosh, I love the butterflies follow her all the way around.
Earned it in 2015, and Kevin and Becca Tinter earned it in 2014. Since then, the company has evolved, but I'm like, I can get behind this. Especially after seeing the heart of Optavia, which was then Take Shape for Life, displayed just like you saw the heartbeat of who we are last night. Then I saw what the McDonald's family stood for. I saw what Dr. Ray stood for. I saw what our corporate partners who are taking care of us on the back end stood for. Because this is what we're empowering people to live, people to
already
thrive.
Have this.
You know, it's pretty cool. A company with over 40 years of transformation, with over 2 million lives impacted. And
impacted for good or impacted for I'm not going to say evil, but left with an eating disorder. That is the real question. I clamped down my desk lamp because it fell on me like your light just did. Sam, you're a genius. I'm going to do that. Cheers for Julie Anderson. Gotta have stream snacks. Absolutely. I just need to find because I feel like Pop-Tart hopping in for Savannah's live streams is iconic. You know what I mean? And so I have some cats on it. I'm going to put some floofs because I think, well, not everyone in my live chat loves animals, but most of y'all do. And I have a few other fun things. So I'm still working on it.
It was just announced we're a $1.6 billion company. That is with a B. Can you guys just give yourself a hand for a second? Like, that is absolutely amazing. And think about it. We're only in the United States. Yes, we are in Singapore and Hong Kong, but we just barely even scratched the surface there.
We're just in the United States, but we also are in Singapore and Hong Kong. By definition, buddy, that is not the same thing. That's not in the that's in the United States and Singapore and Hong Kong, which, say it with me, are not in the United States. Doug, what are you talking about? Everyone's clapping and it's like, no, buddy, you're bad at geography. That literally means that you're not just in the United States. Yes, awake for CC. And I might put a bulldog on there for 𝐔𝐄𝐃. Can we just mention Tupperware possibly imploding? Absolutely, Chrissy. Impacted like a bloody hammer does. Yup, Dave. Cheese for Julie Anderson. Yes, that's what you're saying. Okay, yes, I'll put cheese in there.
A $1.6 billion company. Pretty amazing. A+ Bloomberg rating. Forbes, second fast growing company in 2020 and fastest growing health company in 2021. That's you all, by the way. That is you all. And the New York Stock Exchange, a publicly traded company. Our president, Nick, will probably be talking about that maybe more later. But a couple of years ago, right before the world shut down due to COVID, we were in New York in the heartbeat of technically COVID. Literally 4 days before, we all remember where we were when things were just shutting down faster than you know what to do with, right? Medifast and Optavia was being honored on the New York Stock Exchange, standing there being so proud as a company of legacy, a company of transformation.
What do you mean honored on the New York Stock Exchange? If someone understands stocks, what does that mean? They were being honored. What do you... And let me ask you this, Doug. Do you have a speech? Are you reading from a speech right now? Because if you are not, why? You have a teleprompter. We've seen it in every single video we've watched so far. I'm just wondering, why do you not have a speech written out so that you can reference it as you're talking? Because ad-libbing, at least for you, isn't a good moment. I will say that.
Company that our own president has said, we measure the bottom line by lives impacted, not by dollar signs. That's a company I can get behind.
Oh, shut up.
I love it. I'll move through. You can read the press releases. And some of you guys, I know what you're thinking of. Like, oh, Doug, yeah, you're doing like a rewards of coaching here. This is great for all the guests. Well, I'm not doing a rewards of nothing. These are the rewards. We know what they are. Number one, right there in the middle, community. Accountability.
What?
Health. Pick one. I don't know what attracted you, but I'm going to go through what attracted me. So this was T and I in 2009. Just a good-looking furniture dude. A little extra meat on the bones.
Sorry if someone like fat shaming or perpetuating ideas around fat phobia is too much for you. Not too much, but if it's gonna make you stress out or feel slimed, hop out of the chat because Doug is notorious for this and it's not a good time. That's why we're playing a game to kind of buffer what he's saying, not to take away from the awfulness of it, but sometimes like doing a craft helps to not like the information slime us as bad.
I should say a lot of meat. You know, every fat guy knows how to make jokes about his weight because he wants to beat you to the punch. But deep down inside, there's usually an identity that's been taken on. And the identity sometimes comes with a lot of secrets. And I wanted to get healthy. I found that picture the other day in the bottom right-hand corner. You see there me with a remote in my left hand and my daughter in my right hand. I know I did not know that photo was being taken, or maybe I did. And I'm like, Tia, why are you taking this photo of me? But that explains my life from 2000 to 2009. Working hard. In the morning, I had my suit on, my slacks, my big old brick cell phone. I'm ready to go out and sell some furniture today, baby. Woo! Yeah. That was me. And come home at night, barely see the kids. They're already asleep.
There's nothing wrong with selling furniture.
On Sunday. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hate life. I mean, just living this fake, like, man, just doing it over again. It wasn't fun. So,
who is their audio engineer for? Now, if they had to work for free, Doug deserved this. But who is their audio engineer? Why is this not incredible audio? And if Doug did not pay it, if he had people work for him for free, then he deserves this for sure. Doug, you should pay for better audio. You should. You absolutely should.
So yeah, the first reason I became a coach after I realized the program worked was accountability. Think about your reason. I'm going to go through my story for a moment this morning.
I love
But this is more
love
about
that,
you
Emery.
than it is about me. Second reason. Tia became a coach and realized she could start making some income. She wanted to put her daughter in private school. She came to me
Our
2 weeks
daughter?
before that and said, Doug, can I put Amaya in this little Christian preschool in Aloha? I said, baby, we can't afford it. It's just not there. It's not there. She says, oh, it's going to be there. And that was her first reason why. Now, the money started rolling in.
Rolling in.
The program started working.
FTC, we're going to
I
report the
kinda got
hell out of
excited.
this.
I'm like, okay, baby, you do your little side hustle thing. All right, you go, girl. Right? I don't mind having a sugar mama. A $700-800 a month sugar mama, but it was something. Hey, man, you'll take anything. I got no pride. I don't got pride. If she wants to bring in some extra income, like, I had to get over myself. Right? Let's just say there's lots of blessings from couples getting healthy, all right? Everything.
Oh, my
Talked
God.
about it last night, the handcuffs, right? Right?
What the hell? I don't want to know, Doug. Doug, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Doug, I don't want to know. I don't. Oh my God.
I'm just wondering, like, what should my Optavia clip be? Is it like this one?
Oh my God, ew, David. Ew. Ew, David. Ew, no, David. Ew.
I just need a whole Optavia section, but I need to find the right kind of clips for it.
Y'all like that? That was good. Uh-oh. There's some healthy motion people in the front. Don't follow her Instagram. All right. So my goal was to start helping my family, and I did that. You can see my uncle. You can see my cousin. You can see my friend John. You can see my dad. You can see Wes and Paula. You can see my mom. And all of them are not healthy today, but I was able to start helping them in the process.
I'm still judging the shit out of them because they're not in shape. Okay, Doug. All of them are not healthy today. How do you know? Just based on their what? Just based on what? You go to every single doctor appointment and look at every single blood work they have drawn and their cholesterol and all that. You know for sure they're not healthy. I think you're right, Jessica. Oh my God. Okay, transfer.
Grandma Gigi, I think I got an extra 10 years with her because she lost 50 pounds. I looked so hard at 2 o'clock this morning for her before photo and her after photo. Literally, do you know that after someone dies, Facebook deletes their Facebook account?
No, they don't.
Dang it, Mark Zuckerberg. I went to Gigi's Facebook and it's not there. She was really proud of her before and
They don't
after
always.
photo about 5 or 7 years ago because I got some extra time with Gigi before she passed 3 years ago. I share with you because this was my goal. I'm just like, man, this stuff works. The program
I don't share with you to impress you, but to impress upon you. I'm just waiting for Doug. I'm just waiting for him to say that.
works. I just want to help other people.
Uh-oh.
Fourth reason was T and I were in a lot
Oh, no,
of
you're
bad-
good, Rutro. You can leave it. Oh, is Nightbot being an asshole? Hold on, what happened? Yeah, they probably don't have a shirt gap. Sorry, I've been bothering me and he's being rude. He is being rude, Rutro. That's okay. You can make a legacy account. Yeah. Allegedly, in his opinion. Okay, let me turn off Nightbot. 1 second. Let me go back over here. Is it me? Am I the drama? Yes, let me go to Nightbot. Sorry, guys. What can y'all not say? Sorry. Commands. What are my auto ones? Spam protection. I have a blacklist of words and phrases. Let me edit it. Oh, I had sex in there. Sorry. Just because of the sex bots. I think, can I just leave it? Okay, I'll take it. I'll just have strict sex in there. Moderators are exempt. Oh, I'll make channel members exempt. No, not channel members, subscribers. Oh, I don't have channel members. I'll do a regular. Y'all are exempt from sex being blacklisted, okay? All right, we're good. Nightbot should be better now. I took off the asterisk coding. It's not coding, whatever it's called. Okay. Where am I? Ah! Okay, we should be good, I think. Let me fix this. Oh my god. Camera effects. Overlays. Scenes. Window. Scenes. There we go. All right.
Really started using coaching and becoming a strong executive director to start really attacking our debt load. Now, I was going to take a whole lot more than executive director income, but we worked and we hustled. Our fifth goal was I owned a small furniture store in Beaverton, Oregon. I wanted to get out of that so bad. Once I started to came to a conference like this, I went to my first convention in Dallas, Texas. I heard Brad McDonald. I heard the heart of Dr. Ray. I said, I'm out. And some of you guys saw the difference on the whiteboard yesterday of where we started and where we are today and where we stand for. I went home from there and I went to work. I implemented everything I learned at the conference and we went to work, and quickly, and I say quickly, it took 18 months, but we really needed to get our income up, and that was our reason why. And that is a picture of me at about 25% body fat, but $195, fresh into my 65-pound weight loss, locking the doors of that lease of that building for the very, very last time. And it was the biggest reward of my life. It really was.
God.
Sixth goal was to go global and then presidential, only to show others it could be done. You don't understand. Optavia and Take Shape for Life years ago did not look like you. It smelled of old people. Have you guys ever been in a nursing home? That's what my first...
No, you shouldn't start from the beginning. It's fine. I was long-winded. There were technical difficulties. Doug's being Doug, so you haven't missed anything other than fat phobia and body shaming and twistiness of income potential. So you're good. You're good.
Convention smelled like. It smelled like old people in Calandra said wiping adult butts. Okay, it wasn't that bad. I'm just saying, T and I were the youngest people in the room at 34. The youngest people in the room, excuse me. There was one other couple as well. But we walked in there, everyone was twice our age. And we're like, oh my gosh, our friends at home are never gonna buy into this. But guess what? They bought into us.
Oh,
See,
my God.
We went home and we took what we learned there, the heartbeat, and we're like, they're not gonna get behind all this, but they'll get behind us. We need to be the change and start living the change for them to come along. And so our goal was to actually show them what's possible. So that's a picture of T and I with Dr. Ray. getting global director, and we brought a little team with us. A little team. Look at what happens in 3 years. We came back. Our seventh why just became to give it away. And that's what we've been doing for 14 years. Is just trying to give it away. So let's talk about seeking growth. Seek growth. It's one of our core habits of the Hot Six. Number one, realignment to self. Maybe what got you in this room won't keep you in this room, because I'm going to share in just a few moments about some things that I've had to go back to. But anytime discouragement sets in, anytime a little extra skinny pop sneaks into my... Tia picked on skinny pop yesterday, so let's keep picking on it a little bit.
A skinny pop? You're picking on popcorn? Oh my God, I got a Blue Spring Rabbit? Shut up. I love it. Sorry, we're playing a game while we're listening to this because it's stressful as hell sometimes. So we're just breaking up the Friday session with craft streams and a game stream. If you don't know, I do gaming on my channel and crafting and buffering the hell out of the MLM twistiness. Let me go ahead. I'm going to move the chat over here so I can see it better. Oh, maybe I can put it on the screen. This is awesome. Can I do this? No, I can't. Dang it. Oops, I just messed up. I'm still learning. I'm still new here. I'm not that new. I'm a little new. Oh my God, he is the biggest knob strangler I've seen since... Oh my God, our buddy, Mr. Izzo. Elaine, the other day, he posted his current daily diet, and it's not 5-in-1 compliant. The Blue Spring Rabbit is my current companion right now. Katie, I love that. We are glad you're here, Rutro. And we are privileged if we get to live to be old. Exactly. I never thought I would be in my 30s. I'll be 41 on Saturday. Rutro? That's incredible. I'm so happy. That's incredible. And you're right. Growing old is a privilege. I would give a lot to have a lot more time with people who aren't here anymore. So if you don't know, he has been going after, in my opinion, he's been going after people who have left Optavia. And he also, if you haven't looked on his Facebook page, and I'm not encouraging the internet to internet, I'm saying that's a primary source to understand his perspective about people, about bodies, about dieting and food, because you can see long posts where he was shaming the medical team that was taking care of one of his relatives on his Facebook post. And he didn't blur them. He just shamed them for how big they were. And he's like that on many of his posts. And at some point in this conference, I'm sure that I didn't do this right. At some point in this conference, he is going to how should I say this? Sorry, my anxiety little things I do are irritating. I know I'm doing those little, and I'm sorry. I gotta fix it. Let me fix this first, though. Is this it? No. Is this it? Yes. Let me just make his head visible. Do we need to see his head? No. Who recorded this? All right. I don't think anyone does, because they get in trouble. They will get shunned. They will get all of a sudden canceled for being non-compliant, and then their entire line will roll up to the person above them as in alleged punishment.
We have to go back and realign. Why are we here? What has this program done for me? What has this community done for me? Do I have enough evidence to convict me of saying, yep, it works? Because there's only a couple things in life that I can be truly convicted of. But I'll tell you right now, a health coach can be one of them. And this program is the other. Because nobody can take your transformation away from you. Becca and Kevin yesterday talked about, I've never seen anyone leave this business in a healthy place. Realignment with self. Where are you at? If you are seeking growth, and this is applicable to anywhere in any business you're a part of, if you are seeking growth, realignment to why am I here? Number 2, commit.
You've never seen anyone leave that business in a healthy place. So waking up and deciding to that they don't want to be a part of it, and they don't want to make their money by their downline constantly buying orders that they don't need to, because you yourself, Doug and Tia, have said that you are going to pay the company that pays you by ordering fuelings even when you don't need them. Why? And someone choosing to not do that, that is somehow unhealthy? Okay. I say okay sarcastically because that's wild.
The reason it's hard is when you lack commitment. Anytime it has been hard for me is because I'm not committed.
Or cognitive dissonance.
I'll talk about it. The last 60 days I've been committed. And it hasn't been hard. I've always said all these things about how hard it is. Oh man, gotta do this. There's another Zoom tonight. Oh man. When I'm committed, like literally, John Maxwell will probably talk about it later today. He was talking about
John.
That good thing that I just forgot. No, he was talking about the difference, though, of your intentions. And when he wakes up in the morning, he's intentional. Hey, because he's committed. What was it? The anticipation. He wakes up and it's like, man, I'm anticipating. And I asked him, I'm like, well, what happens on the days that you're not anticipated? That you're not feeling the anticipation? He said, typically you're lacking commitment. So I ask you, are you committed? And these are questions for you, not me. If you're seeking growth, are you aligned with self? Number 2 is, are you committed? Number 3, a clearly defined goal. Somebody who, if you guys know me at all, I did have this spell checked. And thankfully, Tiffany says, Doug, did you want goal or goals? I'm like, what's the difference? Well, goal is one. I'm like, goals. I said, no, it's a goal. Because the problem is we want everything and we want a lot of things and we're not have a clearly defined goal. What is your clearly defined goal? Our number 1 goal was, Tia said, I am becoming a coach because Amaya needs to go in this private school. She went down, she met with Angie Taylor and she said, how much is the school for Amaya? She said, $400, $500. She goes, great. I know Doug won't let me start for $400 to $500, so I need to go make $600 to $700. So there's a little bit of buffer in there to buy uniforms and school pictures.
What about taxes? What about taxes? I know I'm annoying. You need a little bit of a buffer. What about taxes? What about the cost of running the business? You're saying, okay, $400 to $500 for a month for private school. And you're saying, I need to have a little bit more for uniforms. You also need to set aside money to pay taxes at the end of the year. So I'm guessing she needed to bring in closer to $1,500 a month to make it make sense for one kid to be in private school. Because you have to set aside money for taxes and for running your business and all the other things associated with Optavia. What about your fuelings? Those are like $700 a month per person. And if you are going to watch Aaron's video today from, I don't know if it's dropped yet for the general public. I'm a member on her channel. You can watch the live that she did where you can hear parts of the Optavia coach talking in the background. And there's an auto ship set up for every 3 weeks. So some months you're paying double the amount for fuelings. So if your fuelings cost you $700 a month, you're going to be paying $1,400 a month because of how it falls every 3 week deal. That seems like a lot of money to me. Sorry, I'm missing the live chat. Our bowling alley is called Big Al's, and their website is ilovebigals.com, and I don't read that. Big Al. Oh my God. I think so too, Emery. You're not annoying. You are reacting how we are all yelling at the TV screen. An hour ago, it wasn't live yet. Okay. I run an actual small business. Taxes can bite you hard. Yep.
So she can come and present that to Doug and say, can I do this? It won't come out of the budget. Do you see? Tia had a clearly defined goal. A goal was to close my furniture store. The clearly defined goal after I went executive director is how much is that going to take and how long will it take it? It was a clearly defined goal. I have a goal of being in the best shape of my life on my birthday of this year. It's clearly defined. There is no room for compromise. When you're committed, there is no room for compromise. Number 4, decision to obtain it at any cost.
Damn.
It's interesting. Yesterday morning, I was sending out some text messages on some different fibble.
Okay. Where's my images? Where are they? Okay. At the top, there is the positive side of the influence continuum over here. And then there's the negative side or the destructive side. And on the positive side, there is stuff for organizations. And if we're talking about Doug and Tia's sides, on positive, if you're being influenced for the positive, it's going to show up at like egalitarianism. There's going to be checks and balances. There's going to be informed consent. They promote individuality and diversity. The means create the end, meaning that how you get there matters. And the whole doing anything, doing whatever it takes, you start to slip onto the other side, onto the destructive side of the influence continuum, because on that side you can read the ends justify the means. It gets twisty. So I think you always have to engage your mind. It can't just be doing it at all costs. There has to be a balance. There has to be reassessing. You have to take into account if your body can handle it. You have to take into account if your family can handle it, or if you can handle it, or if all of the things that you're giving up are worth it in the long run. Because there are costs. There's costs to doing this. And unfortunately, some of them end up in eating disorders. Yep. I'll take this off, sorry. And then for leaders, this is from Stephen Hassan's Influence Continuum. I just made it for my stream because I wanted it to be the exact size. But for leaders who are on the healthy side of the influence continuum are psychologically healthy. They know their own limits. They empower individuals. They're trustworthy and they're accountable. And we've seen that that's not the case with Doug, in my opinion. On the destructive side, and I'm not saying that these are him exactly, but generally, you will see leaders who are on the destructive side of the influence continuum have narcissistic and psychopathic tendencies. They're elitist or grandiose. They're power hungry. They're secretive and deceptive, and they claim absolute authority. Have we seen some things that are similar to that in the last 3 streams we've had on Optavia? I think yes. Sorry, we'll continue.
Strands I'm a part of. And I asked them the question. I said, if one was seeking growth, what are the absolute non-negotiables? I got a flood of information back. Baffling how almost everything said the same thing. And I really took a list of the greatest coaches in this company and I compiled them into this. A decision to attain that goal at any cost. Tia and I left this conference 14 years ago. We went back to our hotel room and we cried because we knew we were screwed. We had been exposed to a bigger life and there was no going back. We would have been better by not walking into this room, because once you walk into this room and you go home and you don't change and implement what is learned, you'll be miserable.
Do not scare people, sir. Do not do it. What do you mean you're going to be miserable? Oh, there's tons of people who are not Optavia coaches that are perfectly happy. Why is that? Because they're maybe doing something that is not negatively impacting those around them or people who are financially tied to them. What? Sir, don't tell people how they're going to feel. Don't tell people how they're going to feel if they don't decide to fully commit to the destructive authoritarian group that you seem to have built here. Am I overthinking this? Am I like reading too much into this? Because this is twisty from the beginning. This seems very twisty.
It's when it gets hard because you didn't do
Hi,
and
Kirsten.
commit to the decision that you made when you were in the room. So a decision to obtain that goal at any cost. I read a book 8 years ago.
I keep pausing him. If your goal interferes in the human rights of other people, then no, we're not going to do it at any cost. If your goal means that you're going to be deceptive and you're going to be deceptive with your recruiting practices, then no, we're not going to do that. Okay? There has to be some boundaries. There has to be some guardrails. There has to be some constraints, because I don't know, if you don't care about protecting the consumer, maybe you're not going to have any. Maybe you're not going to have any constraints. Oh, okay. Nope. Oh no. What are you doing? I don't want to dig up my field. Okay. Okay. Play.
By Grant Cardone, be obsessed or be average.
Not Cardone. If you're not following Grant Cardone's jaunt with the Department of Justice, I would have you take a look at that in your free time. The amount of people who quote Grant Cardone is wild. The amount of people in multi-level marketing who look up to him, wild, because of his track record and how he treats people is concerning to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to read the chat. Sorry.
I'm going to say the word obsessed.
Ugh. I bet the ranking is very biased on who to join. At any cost, sir, this is not about protecting kids from danger. It's about a bleeping MLM. Elaine? Yes. First honest thing he said, a lot of people would be better off if they weren't there. Great point, Dave. If I walked out of an MLM conference, if I walked out of a multi-level marketing conference, I would be happy, not miserable, sir. I wrote a book, sir, doesn't make me an expert on anything. I'm going to eat a candy bar in Optavia's honor. I love that. I love that so much. This is very negative to others' health and well-being, DeeCee. It is. Can you imagine the 4,000 people who have bought in to this group in his downline, in the culture of his whatever he's created? That they've bought in and they feel some kind of way about his disgust for people in larger bodies, for his disgust for people who weigh a certain amount. And everyone in that conference is looking up to him with eyes wide open and kind of shiny with hope and expectations about what they can do in Optavia. And this guy is what's directing their energy and their actions. To belittle people to get to your goals and personally profiting off of your twisty ideas about health is something that I hopefully always have the energy to call out. And someone who does it far and above in an incredible way is Air. And I'm going to put her in the chat. Go follow. I'm sure all of y'all already do. She's a big creator. She has almost 10,000 followers. 𝐔𝐒𝐄. I hope this is the right tag. I'm drinking a Topo Chico. I love that. I'm drinking a coffee and my little I've been eating so much fruit lately, the horror. Yeah, Optavia doesn't do fruit that much. I don't even know what to say. And the wild thing is, imagine this, live chat. Let's say that you are thinking something is wrong in the group that you're a part of, in Doug's group, Doug and Thea's group. But you don't fit into the physical category of someone that they would respect, number one. Number two, you don't make enough money for them to give you the time of day. So even if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, something feels wrong here, something feels off, something feels like dangerous ideas are being spread, dangerous for people's health and dangerous for people's perspectives and how they view others. Even if those people did speak up, do you think that Doug and Tia are going to listen? Because they're going to say, you don't even know the right way to think about this because you haven't fully committed to it because you're still fat. I know the live chat is empathetic and and is super logical, and a lot of y'all are a lot smarter than me. But the power dynamic there, and if you're wondering why can't people speak up, I'm sure there are people that speak up, and we know one instance where someone has tried to speak up in a respectful way and has simply been dragged through the mud. So it's not as easy as saying we're going to speak up. Well, guess what, Doug? Anti-MLM is going to speak up, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but I'm going to speak for myself. And I know Aaron's already been doing it. I know 𝐔𝐿𝐿𝐿's been doing it. I know Clowntown's been doing it. And Tish has been doing it. And and Savannah. The twisty part is isolating someone and making them feel small when they may be right because you don't want to listen to what they have to say. Yes! Midsize Blondie, what's up? No, they won't listen. They will say that your mindset is wrong. Not only that your mindset is wrong probably because of that you're not making as much money as them and how you look physically. And even then, if you are the weight that they would even entertain the idea that you would come to them with, hey, this mindset's twisted. Even if you hit the money category, even if you hit the physical category, then they're going to say, well, your mind's become tainted and corrupted with negative thinking, and we don't do that here. Goodbye. I feel bad for those who try to speak. They probably get reamed pretty badly. They do. They absolutely do. If you speak up, you're labeled as a hater and not contending for. If you leave, you are labeled as a hater and not contending for your health. Yep. And here's, it's the same kind of thinking as saying, you can't teach me anything about this because you've never experienced it. And it's like, no, I know that fire is hot. I know that fire can burn me if I touch it with my skin. I also know that hot surfaces can burn me as well because what I've seen from other people who have been burned. And I don't have to be burned severely to be able to speak up if I see someone about to burn themselves. It's not any less meaningful if I say, hey, you're going to get hurt if you do this. Same thing, as someone who got bullied in school, I would say, like, I wouldn't have given two flips if someone who had spoken up for me had never been bullied, but if they had said, hey, I see what you're doing wrong. I've never been bullied, but that shouldn't be happening right now, and you shouldn't be treated like that. I wouldn't have cared if someone had a shared experience of being bullied and that their speaking up meant anything more to me. That's just my experience. And maybe the bully would have said, hey, you don't know what bullying is. You've never been bullied. So how do you know that I'm bullying someone? It's the gaslighting as all get out. I don't have to touch a cacti to know it can prick me. Yep. I was in a spice and diet program, MLM. They spewed much dangerous false info and shut down anyone who disagreed. It was so bad. Maru, what's up? Howdy, howdy, howdy. So it's hard to speak up. It takes a lot of courage. And it takes a lot of courage not just to make that first step to speak up, but to deal with the backlash that happens after you speak up. Because there are people who have tried to speak up. They get trashed, they get disparaged, they get lied about. They are people attempt to discredit them and to take them down and make them feel small so they'll shut up. That's what's powerful about a lot of people speaking up at the same time. But even if one person speaks up, that is meaningful. And if you're speaking up in your own daily life, or if you're trying to speak up to your leader, that's a powerful step. And I know it's hard. Cool, Maru. Hang out with us. Jumping in late. What's up, Deanna? A mid-sized blondie said, if you aren't chasing wealth and, quote, freedom, end quote, by peddling Optavia, you are cast aside and blocked. You can speak out and say what you saw, and you are called a liar and, quote, doing the work of Satan, end quote. I stopped a bigger boy from bullying my sister when we were in high school. Sam, I love that. And even if one or two people speak up, their lives are hurt, but not the Optavia people. They still win. They're not going to win forever. And I will say that. They're not going to win forever.
Obsessed so many times. I'm also going to say success, because some of you, those are like cuss words to you. Obsessed. That's why you're so miserable, because you're actually might be obsessed with being miserable.
No, we're not. Shut up.
I mean,
Ooh,
literally,
everyone's
I was
clapping.
raised on don't chase success. Why not? Do I want to chase fat and misery like you? Like, I'm just thinking like the people that are telling me not to chase or be obsessed, and I'm like, man, the greatest of the greats, Havilah showed him last night. Oprah Winfrey, Mother Teresa, the great Billy Graham, Elon Musk, they're obsessed. But yet we...
Sir? Hey, Shiloh. The problem, in my opinion, with obsession is if it starts to make you compromise your core value set, you can get in trouble. You can get in trouble really fast.
Sit back and we eat popcorn, skinny pop, but we talk about them. Some of you guys, it's time to give some people some things to talk about. Number 5, when you're seeking growth, you have to make sure you have a vehicle that has the capacity to get you where you want to go. Many of you have goals, but you've been doing the same thing over and over again, and it's not moving forward. So you have to say, is it the vehicle? Is the vehicle broke?
I will say this. The Optavia vehicle, from my experience in multi-level marketing and how I understand plans to work, and the absolute damage I've seen in people having left and their struggles with eating disorders, I will say the vehicle in Optavia is broken. Why? You have to look at the impact of what you're doing. And you have to look at all of the information and not just the information that you want to use to prove your point. You can't cherry pick data. I mean, I guess you can. They seem to do it. I just heard the name dropping. 3 of the 4 names I just heard are pretty problematic. Doug is horrible in my opinion. He's the absolute worst. Why he's given a platform to speak is beyond me. Because he makes Optavia a crap ton of money. You know what's wild? And I know it's like, you don't run your own company. You can't say this. I am surprised that people in Optavia on the corporate level continue to let individuals share these ideas and mindsets about others. And that they are like, okay, the amount of money you bring in is worth it, so we're going to let you continue to spew. Really? I guess I feel like if I had salespeople, independent contractors or not, associating with my name, if I was the CEO of a company, I would be upset if I saw stuff like this. And you could say, oh, you're emotional, blah, blah, blah. It would be disappointing. It would be troubling to hear how someone who identifies with my brand and sells under the umbrella of my company looking at people the way that he does and the way that Tia does and utilizing houses of worship to recruit their people. And I'm not talking about like, yeah, I know this conference is hosted in this building, but he and Tia were sharing, I think on a Sunday morning with the head pastor of a church. We looked at it on my channel and the pastor basically opened the door for Doug and Thea to come in and expose the entire congregation to Optavia. What? Why? Why is the crossover there? Why as a pastor are you letting these people give access to your people, to your congregation? I know not everyone is religious. Whatever group you're in, why are they getting access to your people? It is very religious.
Or do I need to implement some changes? 9 years in the furniture business, almost 12, by the time I actually got out, it was 11 and a half. But I got exposed to Optavia 9 years in. 2.5 years later, I'm out. I had to say, Doug, you write these goals down at the end of the year. They're non-measurable. It's their goals. I'd like to, I hope to, I pray to. I got tired of writing those goals over and over and over again. So I had to look and go, is it the furniture business or is it Doug? And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm doing the right things because sometimes it is us. And sometimes it is maybe the trap that we've partnered with and said, oh, this is just the way it is. I have a degree in this. This is what somebody told me I'd always do and be great at. Well, you hate it. Why are you still there?
Because people
So
need money to live.
And I got exposed to Bradley McDonald and Dr. Ray, and I'm like, I can follow these guys, and it looks like the vehicle's working. I'm seeing other people do well by doing a really good thing, so I got obsessed. So it's the vehicle. Next is structure and calendar. Does your structure and does your calendar support your goal? T and I left this conference 14 years ago. You're like, Doug, you had Level Up 14 years ago? Yes, we did. We just called it Go Global or Optavia Convention or something. No, that's not true. But it was just like this. Maybe a little bit less people. And we went home and we said, okay, for us, it goes boom, boom, boom. And you know what boom, boom was? God, family. What does this have to do with going global? We disconnected from so many associations, so many.
Isn't that a Scientology term? Disconnected? Maybe it's not. You're going to disconnect with stuff that isn't helping you with your Optavia business? The difference is that they don't appear to have any morals and you do, DeeCee. I'm religious, but come on, that shouldn't be done. I can't imagine him selling furniture, though. I can't do. I think the church talk about Optavia is a thing churches do at couches. Okay. It's just, I don't know. Why is it so twisty here? Why is it nighttime? I have my hour set forward.
Things Tia went and put in a resignation at the Bible study. I went and canceled Thursday night men's group at the golf course. I'm like, every time I go out there, I end up doing the 5-1-ish. Because I do 5-1, and then Thursday night men's league, I go 5-1 and 5 Coors Lights. I'm like, this is, like, I'm in the wrong group here. Or am I going to change them, or are they changing me? So I went home and we made some changes. So does your structure actually support your goal? Some of you guys need to go home and clear your freezer out. You're like, but I paid so much to the Schwann's man. The Schwann's man is like the killer of dreams.
I'm sorry, you're just going to say throw food away with how expensive it is nowadays? That's what you're going to do? Doug? Disconnection is the severance of all ties between a Scientologist and a friend, colleague, or family member deemed to be antagonistic towards Scientology. The practice of disconnecting is a form of shunning. Optavia is the worst, most dangerous MLM in my opinion. And the thing is, a lot of people, I think it flies under the radar. And I'm thankful that people like Aaron are covering it, but it's here's another tough part. It's hard to listen to the manipulation and the shaming of people's bodies. And so it's like, I don't necessarily want to listen to it. It's certainly easier to listen to other critiques of other multi-level marketing companies, in my opinion. It's easier to not have to feel slimed with the religious manipulation and the fat shaming and the fat phobia and the twisted perspectives about eating and food and villainizing food. It's hard to listen to. So it's like, and again, Erin's so good at this because when you watch her videos, I don't want to use words that Doug uses. She's so focused and clear and calm that it is a safe space to be able to watch stuff like this and hear the commentary. And so it's like finding people like her and Julie Joe and these bigger creators who and Hannah is great at this too. And I think the more people, it's good to have a buffer, if that makes sense, because listening to him by himself, it's like, you have to take a nap for a week and you go cuddle your floof and cry your eyes out. I know not everyone's a crier. I am. So it's like, how do you process this and say something's wrong here and it's uncomfortable to find out what's wrong,
Right? The Schwann's. Oh, but I paid for it. Yeah, you also paid for the buffet. Are you just going to keep eating and keep eating and keep eating? Stop going to the buffets.
What
Tia and I met in this building 25 years ago. There's a little Chinese joint down here. It's called Lim's Chinese Buffet. I showed my girls the other day. We're driving by. I'm like, you guys want to stop at Lim's? I used to eat there for $5.99. All you can eat lunch. And they're like, Dad, you look like it too. I'm like, hey. Right? Who you going to buffets with?
Rude.
Pursuit of mentorship and being coachable. I was hesitant to put this in, but everyone was like, mentorship, because I know the moment I walk off this stage, my text.
Thanks for rooting to being.
Hey, Doug, will you mentor me? Absolutely.
So Rutrose said, I think if this company was actually meant to help people, they would have accessible meal plans that could be purchased at a local grocer. That's a great point. Yeah, I think they did, Pam. How disgusting. I struggle with affording food, and this just really upsets me. It is upsetting. And if the video is too much, don't. It's early on in the week. Don't. And I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. You don't need to get sucked in and slimed on one of my streams. I try to like warn y'all ahead of time, but if you feel that you could have handled it before and now you're getting to the point where it's like, I'm unhappy, I'm having a reaction, my blood pressure's rising, I'm getting anxious, hop out. Go over and read a book or pet your floof or try to watch something fun that's not this. It's important, I think, to be able to process through it, but you don't have to suffer through this because, like, we're not in MLMs anymore. We don't have to sit through a Zoom call when we're not mentally able to. We don't have to, work for free for an upline. We don't have to get berated. We can always hop out, and you please feel free to always hop out.
I will. Or your coach will.
Just farming.
But I would ask if the others, you have enough proof of action from everything above, because you don't need to go, mentor me, mentor. The questions will develop themselves if you're in action. What questions should I be asking you? Do the work and trust me, you will know what to ask. And are you being coachable? Some of you need to say or to hear some interesting things, but I don't know if you're ready. And so we hold back. And I know some of you are going to be like, no, tell me, Doug. Dan Valentine, tell me what it is. No, you're not. We love you too much. We love your kids. But you know what? As the walls begin to come down, we would love to help you. Your coach would love to help you. But are you ready? Managing emotions, grit, determination. Managing emotions. When you're committed, you're going to deal with the emotions. You're going to deal with the rough stuff. You're going to deal with the canceled premiere. You're going to deal with all the stuff. But you know what? When I leave events like this, it confirms my I don't give up attitude. And some of you don't have that. But you're getting that this weekend, and that's okay. But managing emotions, grit, determination, and IDGAF attitude. Doug, what is that? What's that spell? Nope. You interpret it however you want. Level up your physical health. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I think it's been touched on, but it's going to continue to get touched on because we ain't playing. Freakish confidence and scoreboard. Yesterday I talked about scoreboard, right? Some of you in the ED training, you're like, I missed that. Well, good. We want to help you get to where you can come into that training.
The fact they have a rank that is ED is ironic. I don't know if it's ironic. What's their other word? Is it ironic? I don't think it's, maybe it's ironic. I think it's, you can't make this stuff up. They're not talking about eating disorders. It's a rank. Or it's a training to get to a certain level. And they call it ED. And it's not eating disorder. It's just wild here.
Freakish confidence. I see to it my clients get results. Well, Doug, I'm not sure if the program works for me. No, you haven't worked the program. My clients get results. When they work with me and they follow the program, my averages are high. So what's going on? Well, Doug, this might be a unique scenario. It's not a unique scenario. I have been a coach for 14 years, and if you don't have this confidence yet, borrow mine. Because I've been a coach for 14 years, I've not found one person that the program didn't work for when they followed it and they were honest. Okay, I did send one person to the doctor one time. He had a long plateau. I'm like, hey, there could be something going on. I need you to see your doctor. No, I'm fine. No, I'm serious. Like, my batting average is like 3,000. Okay, like my clients get results. I need you to see your doctor, bro. I love you. Okay, go get checked out about the time 2 days before his doctor's appointment. It's amazing how much he lost. That's how good our program is, and Dan Williams is going to explain that. Okay, because some of you guys are still out there teaching how to whisk your coffee and whisk your You're giving out whiskers. Every time you sign up a client, you send them a whisker meal or something, like how to waffle this and waffle that. That's a great way to waffle your business right out the door. Okay, sorry. Crap, I'm over time. All right, last but not least is having fun. Here's where I'm going to end.
We're going to have fun?
Because I'm committed to leveling up. You've seen maybe these photos floating around on Facebook, the top one, and those two are old ones of Tia. The one in the middle is old. And I'm sick of looking at old before and after photos of me. And my journey, when I started, that's actually my true before photo. There's old W, right?
It's actually my true before photo because we found out that they smudged the line with their before photos. It's interesting.
They're just big old love, baby. That's what you call a good hunk of man meat with a set of double D's. All right?
Hey, Annie.
But I started losing weight and the double D's got bigger. I'm like, what's wrong with me? But I kept going. Okay, because I made a decision to stop compromising in my life. Good, that became great, started becoming good again. Mike, I got scars, man. My whole life, I grew up with man boobies as a little boy. I was born 10.5 pounds, came out with little nipples hanging over, okay? It was just, I lost all this weight and didn't go away.
Asshole.
So yes, I had skin surgery. Some of you guys asked me, what is my scars? Well, that's my story. I'm proud of them. Okay? I was born big-chested. I like big-chested, okay? Everything about it is, and it's okay. It's not a bad thing. But my story continues, and I just kept going. But you're going to see me, oh, man, I would go down with no muscle. Then I'd keep going. Then I'd go back up, and I'd bloat up again after an event or before an event. There's another picture of me in front of the freaking mirror. I have more pictures of me in front of the mirror that have never made Facebook, and I'm sick and tired of taking my pictures in front of the mirror. And then there I am again. I got off track a little during COVID, so I tighten it back up there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Here we go. But honestly, I'm not feeling that good because there I'm back again. It's like the story. It's like this in and out, in and out, in and out. And then T and I get working out. We hire a trainer. We do the necessary things. And we keep going.
How are you?
And we're on this journey with you today.
How are you doing the 5-in-1 plan with a trainer? How are you eating enough food? How are you eating enough food? The world wonders.
But you know, we're in a season of leveling up. And I can stand before you for 14 years. I've told my first client this. I will never, ever, ever ask you, or anyone here to do anything I'm not willing to do myself.
This is twisty as hell because if you are around someone who is maybe doing things that are not emotionally or physically or spiritually healthy for you, that they are doing things that they would do themselves, but it's twisty, then you're going to say, wow, then they're doing it, so I have to do it. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Is this going to give me 15,000? Yes, it is. Oh. Sorry. So.
I frankly am humiliated sometimes, and even as a leader showing up at events, not my best self. Because remember, I had to go back and realign with why I'm here. I became a health coach for accountability, but sometimes we can lose track of why and what got us here in the fog of EDs and naps and conventions and, oh, it was a sucky February. Yeah, you're still down 80 pounds even though you were down 100. Big deal. You got yourself in the room this weekend. Honor yourself. You're doing what you wanted to do, so go back and realign. Tia likes to talk about that little 5-year-old girl in her, of what she actually wanted to go back to why you bought your program, why you bought your kit, why you became a coach.
Why would a kid need to be on Optavia? Why would a kid need to be on Optavia? Why do people continue to go up and down? No shade, but if your program does what it said it's going to do, then why are there not sustainable results? It's just a question. Questions aren't offensive. And I say offensive. Some questions may be offensive, but they're not dangerous. Asking a question should not be dangerous and should not create a situation where you feel like something bad's going to happen to you if you ask a question. And that happens a lot in multi-level marketing. Sorry, I'm making y'all sick. There we go. There we go.
And I had to do that in October. And I said, I have to do something to completely disrupt my pattern. I said, I have to do something that I've never done before, and I have to have a clearly defined goal. And so you saw some pictures of me. You might follow my Instagram or my Facebook. And I made a commitment. I made the commitment in October, but I didn't start until January 1st. Excuse me, I started December 30th. And I'm making the decision to level up, and I'm inviting you to go with me. April 22nd, I'll be competing on stage in Anaheim. And the reason I'm telling you publicly, I didn't even put this in the presentation until this morning because I didn't know if I was ready to go public with it yet, because I know once I post it, I don't care what I look like. I'm taking that stage with all these ripped physique people. And I'm like, Tia, I don't belong here. Nate, I don't belong here. They're like, yes, you do, Doug. Do the work. Just stay committed. Commit to the process and not the result. So I'm inviting you, Level Up. Identify one area of your life. I said a goal, not goals. We leave this like, woo, we got goals. No, I want a goal. One area of your life or your business to level up in and get laser focused and seek growth. God bless.
Oh my God, Doug.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you join me in welcoming to the stage Susan Colgan?
Oh my gosh. Okay, we gotta mute it because of the music. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna speak over this because we're not supposed to set. Oh my God. 12 seconds. Okay. Oh my God. We're gonna get booted. Okay.
For allowing me to be here today. I am honored. So my Optavia journey began back February of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. I reached out to Jody. It was the best Facebook message I've ever sent in my life. I was overweight, tired, just miserable, depressed. And little did we know the pandemic was coming, but I had already made a commitment. Then I was out of work. But stuck with it, found the money. By June, I had evicted 38 pounds, hit my goal.
Evicted 38
And then July
pounds.
came,
Wow.
And I wanted to continue to buy fuelings and things, just, more for accountability. And I said to Jody, I cannot afford $250, girl, just can't do it. So I had just had a mortgage scam. Our house was almost foreclosed, but we got out of it. And I still wasn't working, really. So she offered coaching to me, which, offer coaching to every single person, because that was not in my scheme of ever doing.
It was not in my scheme of ever really doing.
It's not even a scheme per se.
It's not even a scheme per se. Okay.
Second month, August 2020, I was blessed to help so many people. I was an ED. So that was great. And now I just wanted to share it.
Can I just say this? The marketing department would have saved you from this. If you actually listened to your marketing department, they would have said, we should not, with a health and wellness company where food is involved, having a rank that can be shortened to ED is an awful idea. Oh, it'll be fine. No, it won't. No, it will not.
With everybody. And that's what I've been doing. I've been great at client support, client acquisition. It's been amazing. Then May to July of 2022, this just past year, I was diagnosed with
she is going to be using a diagnosis to keep people in Optavia longer. If you're sensitive to this, please hop out. I don't know what she's been diagnosed with, but I'm sorry.
A rare form of cancer called angiosarcoma.
Oh my
It's
God.
an aggressive vascular cancer that goes through your system. I had spots on my bones, nodules on my lungs. from all the initial scans. I still, with Jody's help, made a commitment to go to convention. Only a couple people knew when I went there. I didn't want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about our amazing community. Best community ever. I've been in a lot of organizations. This rocks. And I wanted my team to be able to experience everything I experienced there. So now a little bit forward, the fall, I went through 25 rounds of radiation, more scans, biopsies. It's been a lot. I just found out it then hit my thyroid. So in January, I did have a double surgery. They had to go back to the initial site. Just to say, I thought it was a tick bite. So anything you see, go to your doctor, because it was not. Had the surgery there and my thyroid. They did both at once. The reason why they could do both at once is multiple doctors told me because I was in such great health physically and mentally. They were going to have to do 2 separate surgeries, but they didn't. They did them both. And now I just want to share this with everyone. I want you to know I could have stopped. I could have made excuses. I could have said to Jody, take care of my clients. I just can't do this. I'm tired. I'm miserable.
I'm gonna switch screens really quickly because let me say this to you. Why is this underneath? Okay. If you are ever diagnosed with anything and you are in multi-level marketing, do not feel please do not feel any kind of pull or pressure to keep up any kind of facade or continue working if you know that you cannot. Your health is more important than maintaining a relationship that is transactional at its foundation with someone you signed up with. Them saying that, oh, here is someone who got diagnosed with a potentially terminal illness, and look at them, they continued working. It's so manipulative. It's so twisty. And it borders on the boundary of being evil, in my opinion. To strategically look for these stories and to set up this conference like Doug and Thea Wood have set it up to bring up all of these, in my mind, these vulnerable, heart-wrenching stories with no content warnings. My only conclusion that I can draw is that it is purposefully manipulative to achieve a certain outcome, a certain level of loyalty, a certain level of motivation for the people who decided to come to the conference. To exploit someone who is sick, that behavior is disgusting. Doug and Thea. Take the time. Absolutely. Takara, what's up? Shelby said it's horrible that they act like it's a badge of honor, just like with Jessie Lee Ward. She keeps working. I would not be working if I was her. There was a coach at Optavia convention that said she had cancer and kept doing Zooms. And no one knew that she had cancer. She just kept pushing through. It was horrible. They continue working because they have to. They can't stop, or they go inactive with the company and they lose their place in the pyramid. And it's a tough spot to be in. It's a super tough spot to be in. Hey, Bunny. When you're in cancer treatment, you shouldn't be losing weight deliberately. A lot of meds are steroid based, which will make you gain weight. There's no shame in that. Take the time to heal. Oh, it's so twisty here. Oh, dang it. I know y'all were listening and I didn't change the screen. God dang it. Sorry. User error. I'm new here. Sorry.
But I didn't. And all my doctors said I had the best attitude and that my attitude helped me. And I really think that this community, Jody's support, everyone here, is what actually pushed me through. So, thank you. Okay.
Oh, music. Gosh. Is there going to be another dance scene? Oh my God, music. God has not.
But a dangerous one. Are you up for that? Huh? And not only make an impact in the world, but we're going to show our kids what it's like to do things for other people.
Oh, the tinters. Buckle up, guys. Oh, kids. Dang it. Dang it. Where's my... Okay, sorry. Forgot there was kids.
Jeffrey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see ya.
Why?
Did I get more than 20 seconds? I thought I was supposed to have 2 minutes for this. Hey, good morning. What an amazing story, huh? You know, just when you
Way to shame the media team. Way to shame them on stage. Are you...
think you've got an excuse good enough to give up, you hear a story like Susan's and you realize, nope, not today. Coming up next is a good friend of mine that I met about 7 years ago. I was dealing with, I mentioned this yesterday in my ED talk, I was dealing with excessive angry outbursts on my kids that came from nowhere. I read a book, learned that concussions can lead to anger and sleep issues, and then remembered that I actually passed out one night after going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I love to sleep naked, just to be honest with you. And my wife heard this big crash, and I was sprawled out, spread eagle, with my head on the tile, and never thought about the fact that I got a concussion from that. But thankfully, I learned about this and found Dan Williams. But he's gonna talk about a presentation that he's given several times, and it's really powerful. Yesterday, had an unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have a meal with John Maxwell. And John was talking about the power of anticipation over discipline, all right? And what I think a lot of us have struggled with as coaches is we don't follow the science of our program. And when you...
The science... The science of eating 900 calories a day indefinitely? You're talking about science, but then you're not going to say anything about what the other side is after you're done eating so few calories. What do you do to bring those calories back up and maintain your so-called weight loss? You're talking about this science, but the other side doesn't matter. Oh, the tinters. I just cannot.
Don't, you end up with unsatisfactory results. And so Dan is going to explain to us all that if you follow the precise recipe, imagine that you're making an explosive when you put people on the 5-in-1, because it's really what it is. When you follow that precise recipe, you'll be filled with anticipation and excitement at the results that your clients will get. So I'm really excited to welcome my good friend, Dan Williams.
Oh my God, music. Sorry. I'm trying to do the most so I don't get demonetized. Oh my God, music. Is this the guy that opened that had the concussion clinic that he closed?
Good morning, Level Up. Are you excited to learn about fat burn?
No.
It's not the sexiest presentation, but I rather like it.
What a multi-level.
Curious, is anyone
a multi-level marketer not putting any time into their presentation? Shocking. Just hire a graphic designer, for the love of God. Why would Doug and Thea not have hired a media team for this conference they were putting on that was hella expensive to go to, so that they could import all of the information from all their speakers and have a consistent PowerPoint presentation for the audience? No? Breaking Even Communications, what is up? We're going to stream sometime. They are really maximizing that broadcast license. Yes, y'all, if you don't follow my fellow graphic designer Rager, she's in marketing and communications. And she's been in the same time that I've been in, 15, 16 years, and her channel's awesome. Dan Williams is a physical therapist who sold his neurofeedback center. Okay. Yeah, because like I listened to the Tinters on their podcast or whatever it was, and they were talking about him going to this center, and then they recruited the owners into Optavia. So they sold the center. They, as in this guy, sold the center that was actually helping people to do Optavia. What?
In here in fat burn right now. Awesome. I'm a little bit jealous working on ultra health and longevity, so I don't have much fat to burn, but sometimes I want to gain a little bit of weight just to get that feeling again, right? We're going to give you a crash course this morning, 20 minutes. Really, we should lay a foundation of macronutrients, of carbs and fats and alcohol and the 3 stages of absorption and all the things that help us understand the physiology behind fat burn, but we just don't have time. There is a training out there if anyone wants to help yourself sleep at night. It's has lots of information. I'm a big fan that knowledge is king. I think that the more we know about how this system works, we're better coaches, okay?
Love
now,
that.
With that said, the brilliance of this program is you don't have to know anything that I'm about to tell you. If you follow the 5-in-1 and not the 5-in-1-ish, your clients will get into fat burn, and you don't even have to know the physiology behind it. That's the brilliance, okay? So, if any of you need to use the restroom or get a cup of coffee, you have about 20 minutes, because you don't need to know this. However, I think being able to articulate it, educate your clients and coaches, it just helps you be a better coach. It helps you with your journey, etc. So let's dive right into fat burn. All right, so we're going to talk, you have 3 phases to our program. We're going to focus on phase 1 today, which is the weight loss phase. And then obviously phase 2 is transition. Phase 3 is optimization. So we're going to mainly talk about the 5-in-1 program.
Oh my God.
It's based in science. It's cutting-edge medical science. It's simple.
It's cutting edge medical science. You're just going to have to trust me. You're just going to have to trust me that it's cutting edge, because I'm not going to cite my sources for anything. Okay. Sir, Dan, you know how easy it would have been for them to put a citation at the bottom of their presentation for this streaming? You know how easy it is for me to do it? You could preload it. Okay, let me just show you. Let me do a pretend citation. Where's my overlays? They could have something set up. Here, citation overlay. Citation. Fake. 2023. Blah, blah, blah. You could have these preloaded up to show up at the bottom. And so when you were talking about like, hey, there's incredible science about this, and it's going to show up on your screen, and it's going to show up on the overhead, and then you could turn it on, and it would record it, and then you could turn it off, like so. Oh, I'm so slow to this today. Ugh. You could turn it off like that after you got done talking about each thing. What a wild concept. What? Citing our sources? God forbid.
To follow. It's healthy and it's sustainable, and it goes back to our 10,000.
It's sustainable? I'm never going to get through this talk. I'm never going to get through it.
Year-old DNA as hunters and gatherers, okay? So what it's going to do is teach us
how long have we been streaming for? 2 hours?
Fuel our body in smaller portions.
We'll finish him, and then we'll have to save the rest for later.
Throughout the day. So the 5-in-1 program jumpstarts our weight loss, helps us get to that healthy weight or percent body fat. We are entering a mild state of ketosis. We're calling it fat burn, right? It is just a mild state of ketosis because on the 5-in-1 program, we are consuming 80 to 100 grams of carbs per day. And I should say low glycemic carbs. I like that because doing brain therapy for 2 decades, your brain needs glucose, right? So if you're, a lot of you have probably heard of the ketogenic diet. Really what you're looking at there is less than 50 grams of net carbs per day. And really a purist is gonna say less than 20 grams of carbs. That's, for me, I think it's not really sustainable, right? And I think 80 to 100 gram carbs is a better way to go for long-term health and sustainability. All right, so fat burn refers to a metabolic state where your body is burning fat instead of its preferred fuel of carbohydrates. I'm guessing a lot of you have sat around a campfire. If you didn't plan ahead, you stopped at the gas station, you got that cheap wood. You put that on the fire, it pops, it cracks, and it burns fast. That's like your processed or high glycemic carbohydrates, okay? Now you go and you get a nice piece of hardwood like juniper, and you put that on the fire, and it burns slow.
Yeah, I mean, probably nobody, if you're under harsh lights like that, it can make you look unhealthy. I don't know if he is healthy or not. I have no idea. It's sustainable, said from someone who came into the business without having to lose weight. Mid-sized Blondie, you're making too much sense right now. The absolute lack of showmanship these people have is appalling. Thank you. Someone else is saying it. I cannot. WFAB, same thing. And again, if they're not paying their media team, they shouldn't get good stuff. Absolutely not. But they should be paying for how much money they charged people to come to this conference. They should have been paying their media team to have incredible audio and to put all the sites, the sources on the bottom of it. They could have preloaded it to go along with the talk so we could cite sources. Did we? No.
Burns hot. That's fat, okay? So fat is a very, very efficient fuel source. 2 ways to lose weight. Most of the world goes through a caloric deficit. So you consume less calories than you burn more calories than you consume, okay? What we're doing is we're still in a caloric deficit.
What companion do I want?
We're gonna utilize our fat stores, which
Blue.
we have a lot of them,
yes,
for all the remaining fuel that our bodies need. All right, so carbohydrates exist in 2 forms. One is what we put in our mouth. We call those free carbs. You digest them, you use that it breaks down into blood sugars. Glucose breaks down into blood sugars, and you utilize that fuel, okay? The second is stored glucose, which we call glycogen.
Oh my God.
It's only stored in your muscles and in your liver, so you only have so much storage space, okay? And then for every 1 gram of glucose, it's paired with 3 grams of water, so it's 4 grams total.
Oh my God, it's so cute.
All right. So our bodies need fuel 24 hours a day. We always need fuel, okay? So how the fat burn process works is your body's gonna utilize the free carbs first. So let's say you have a fueling, you have 12 to 15 grams of low glycemic carbohydrates in them. That's the fuel your body's gonna use at that time, okay? Back to the fire analogy, you start the fire, and then every so often, what do? You put a log or 2 on the fire to keep the fire going. And that's really what
How is this guy giving us nutrition advice?
Fat burn is every 2 to 3 hours, we're putting another log on the fire, or we're giving our bodies a little bit more free carbs or fuel. Once your body burns through that, it's gonna turn to your glycogen.
How is this guy giving us advice about this? I'm losing my mind. Where did my chat go? Chat, come back. Chat, there we go. Yeah, what's up?
Can I make you a smoothie?
Sure.
Do you want some pizza, or do you want chicken, or what do you want?
My mom says hello to you all.
Stored glucose. And it's going
She's
to
making me
use
a
that
smoothie.
for fuel. Okay, well, again, we only have so much storage areas. A larger male with a lot more muscle mass can store more glucose than a 100-pound female, okay? But we're going to go to that glycogen source. So for most people, it's going to take about 3 days or 72 hours to burn through your glycogen. That's a general term. If you have, again, there's other variables that come into play, right? How much storage space and how active they are. Because you can technically get in the fat burn in 24
Thanks,
hours.
Andy's Web.
But the way we
My
typically
mom
do
is
it
so
through Optavia.
My mom is so cute. She's like, oh no. She's sweet. Mostly I don't eat if I'm, like yesterday was a bad day, so I didn't. She was just, we were trying to see what makes, anyways, so she was like, you want a smoothie? Yes, Mom, thank you.
Is just say 72 hours or 3
Wonderland
days,
cookies
okay?
and basil omelet.
So what we're doing, visualize a pendulum. Our bodies are made to store fat. So let's go back to hunters and gatherers again, 10,000 years ago.
Hi.
We didn't know when we were going to get the next kill, when we were going to find the next berry bush, etc. So our bodies' DNA is to store fat. And our bodies are really good at storing fat, okay? But now, fast forward.
Why is he saying okay at the end of his sentences? Why? 100-pound female, just random example. Great point. My mom's very sweet and kind, and I do not take it for granted that she cares about me, and she's a very nice person.
Forward to the modern day, that we can go to a drive-through, push a button, our window goes down, reach out and pull 5,000 calories, empty calories.
What an asshole.
Through the window, and we might have burned 1 calorie doing so, okay? So our bodies aren't made for that. So what we want to do on the 5-in-1 program is swing that pendulum from a fat storing machine to a fat burning machine, okay? So when we get into fat burn and you stay there for a long enough period of time, what you're really doing is you're healing the body from the inside out. As hopefully we know, it mainly comes down to your gastrointestinal system, your gut. So we're cleaning that out. We're killing off the bad bacteria, the yeast, the candida, etc. That takes time, right?
Does everyone have bad bacteria and yeast that they need to get rid of? Why would you, sir? Can I just say, as someone who is sometimes wrecked by vegetables and like these, because of my issues I have with my health, I would say, why are we listening to this guy give any recommendations about food? I'm just curious.
That's why a lot of your clients may tell you and may not that there's some funky bowel movements going on. All part of the process. It's a good thing. Things are dying. So what we want...
It's not always a good sign if you have funky bowel movements. Okay, my dude? Dan and his wife are good people. They've just been caught up in it, and it makes me really sad. They were doing really great things with their business before. I think they were doing really great things too. Everything that I heard about it and everything I've read about facilities that help people with like concussion damage and stuff like that, people need help with that. I'm not trying to be super jerk to him. I wish that Doug and Thea weren't such good salespeople. And to divert people like Dan and his wife away from, in my opinion, doing actual good things, to be in they say health and wellness space. I don't know really what I would say. It's disheartening. I barely ate today because of depression, so that's partly why I ate a candy bar. Emery, I'm glad that you were able to eat something. When I was by myself at my house, there would be time periods where I wouldn't eat at all because of how bad I was feeling and my depression as well. So I'm glad that you ate. It's not about him as a person. It's that he has no authority to make these statements. Think about this, and I'll say it from my experience. As someone who has some medical issues that I'm trying to fix, and you're in pain all the time, and you have stomach stuff all the time, and you're desperate for answers, and you end up thinking, I'm going to listen to this person because the people in this group have been nice to me, or they're trying to recruit you. And then you end up getting sucked in to the influence that some of these top leaders hold. And then you get diverted from staying plugged in to getting to associate with people who have licenses and training to help you. Not everyone has that. I get that. I know that there's disparity. I know that more people should have access to healthcare and they don't. The problem is your good relationship with someone shouldn't be the thing that convinces them to go to you for help. What they do and what they've trained for should be their open door. And a lot of times, people who are in the academic space or who are in the medical space will say, these are the limitations of what I can do. And in the MLM space, they say the sky's the limit. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And it gets twisty from there. That's the smoothie.
What I do is keep them in fat burn long enough for physiologically where their body becomes more efficient. We've all done that health assessment.
He has a medical background. They've given him the authority to
eat whole foods, and
okay.
They're just not losing weight, or they're possibly gaining weight. And it's really because their body isn't working efficiently. Now, when you swing that pendulum long enough, now I don't want to give you the get out of jail free card, but when your body's working that efficiently, you get away with more. You can eat more, you can do more because your body's efficient.
Just starve enough for long enough, and then you'll finally get to the point where you get to eat more. Hey, dangling that carrot in front of people, that is a recipe for an eating disorder. I'm sorry. As someone who's been there, I haven't been in Optavia, I was doing MetaFast. And then before that, I was with a really dysfunctional coach who used food to punish me. So saying that, oh, if you just do this much more activity, you can eat more. Or if you just eat this many days in a row of 900 calories a day, you can eat more eventually when you lose all the weight or when you lose your double chin. No thanks, sir.
But if you do that for too long, you'll swing that pendulum back, okay? And that's what we really want to do is swing the pendulum through phase one, properly transition your client, and then live a life of optimization. All right, so the first week on program, your clients are going to lose a lot of weight. And it's the glycogen. So if you have a client who is weighing themselves on a daily basis, and they've lost 5 pounds on day 3, they didn't lose any fat yet, guys. They might have,
Thank you for telling us that.
Because of the glycogen, and also because of inflammation in their gastrointestinal system. Their systemic inflammation is already getting better, which reduces your weight, okay?
Where's the salad?
Now, when your body starts burning fat, that's real fat. That's real weight, okay? Because again, 1 gram of glucose, 3 grams of water. Also, keep in mind that when your client goes off program on a weekend, has a couple beers, and
everyone said hi to you, and they said hi, DeeCee's mom.
Restore that glycogen. So now they hop on the scale on Monday.
What? Are you still on? Yeah. Oh, tell them I said hello. My mom says hello again. For being your friend. Oh, she said thank you for being my friend. You're so sweet, Mom. Love you.
The morning, and they're 3, 4, 5 pounds heavier, and they freak out, right? But we got to be able to articulate, express ourselves properly, and educate them that you just came out of fat burn. You restored your glycogen. You didn't gain 5 pounds of fat, okay? And we got to get them back into fat burn. Also keep this in mind when you're transitioning your client. So we all have those clients, no matter what we do, how good of a coach we are, they have a number in their head. This is what I want to weigh. So let's just say 150 pounds. Well, you don't transition them when they hit 150 pounds if they're set on that number. You coach them down to like 145, 146, so then when you restore the glycogen, they're happy. But I'm not a big number on a scale type of person. The best objective measurement out there is percent body fat. Because if you put my body on a BMI scale, I'm in an unhealthy range for weight and height, right? So it's a good generality, but when you look at percent body fat, I have 10% body fat. So it's a much better indicator, and Becca Tinter talked about that visceral fat, that fat that surrounds our internal organs. That's the unhealthy fat. That's the fat that we want to burn for fuel to make us healthier, okay? All right, so the benefits of the 5-in-1, we all know this. We're less hungry, we have less cravings, our blood sugars stay stable, our insulin pump stays off. If someone asks you, how does your program work? It's easy. We keep the blood sugars level. Period.
Oh my God,
it's all about keeping the blood
your
sugar.
blood is always gonna spike no matter what you eat. Doesn't it? Doesn't everyone's blood sugar spike a little bit whatever you eat? Isn't that how your body like processes through stuff? Hey, Janet. Hey, Jen.
Level. These benefits of the 5-in-1 and fat burn are not so when you're doing a caloric deficit. You're still getting the spikes and the dips. You're still getting hangry. It's all the things that happen when you're just reducing the amount of calories that you consume in a day or in a week. Let's talk about a little bit of glucose and insulin. I think we need to have a general understanding of what this is. So
oh, cool, Emery. Thanks.
Food, it's broken down into glucose. Then that goes into the bloodstream. And either you got to use that fuel or your body wants to store it. It's not going to leave that glucose in your bloodstream for long. So a healthy individual, their blood sugars are going to spike about 30 minutes after they eat. That's when your insulin pump turns on, so there's always a delay between your spike in the glucose and your insulin. And what the insulin's meant to do is act as the key to unlock the cell and either use that energy or to store that energy for a later use. So if your blood insulin level is high, you're storing glucose. If your blood insulin is low, you're burning the glucose, okay? And there's a lot more to do with insulin and the pancreas and all the things, but we don't need to know that today. All right, hopefully you've all seen this because it's in the Habits of Health book. Speaking of, guys, your Habits of Health book is phenomenal. It baffles me how many coaches haven't read it. It's like becoming a pilot and never reading the flight manual. It doesn't make a sense. And every time I read the book, and I've read it multiple times, I learn something new. I know I read it 6 months ago, but maybe it clicks, or maybe, I don't know. There's so much information. Dr. A put together top 3 best health books we can ever put our hands on. And I'm not pointing fingers, but I bet you 50% of this room hasn't read it.
Oh my gosh, sir.
If you have read it, read it again. Read it every 6 to 12 months. Have your coaches read it. Do a book, what's it called, book club, etc. It's just super, super important. So back to this slide. This is a modern American diet where they start the morning with orange juice and a bagel. It spikes their blood sugars. Before we say that, though, look at the baseline. So the yellow dotted line is your baseline glucose, and then above that is your baseline insulin. We eat a high glycemic, carbohydrate driven breakfast, and the blood sugar spike. Like I said, the insulin is delayed. And
Hey,
this is
Beyond
what we do
Sunset.
all day long. But if you see the dip, it goes below.
Sorry if you're new here. We're listening to Optavia, and because it's so twisty, we're doing fun things for Friday. This was a conference that was a few weeks ago. The first one we did no buffer. Today we're doing game buffer. Tomorrow, or the next time we do this, we'll do a craft stream buffer or coloring buffer. Sometimes, for me, I just need a little bit of like listen, but like not fully focus on it. And I hope it's not super boring for y'all. I asked a registered dietitian about why they all say they feel great and lose their aches and pains when they're essentially starving, and she said it is starvation euphoria. Oh my God, how did I miss that? They have Dan do this presentation because he uses a lot of big words that no one understands. It makes him sound like he knows what he's talking about. Habits of Health was written by Dr. Anderson. It's an additional $50 for Optavia customers. It's added automatically to their first order. Very few read it. Then Optavia coaches, in my opinion, can blame their customers' clients for their weight gain because they didn't read the Habits of Health and use the Life book, which is a workbook. What? Yeah, he is. Sorry, he dry. He is. He used to have a concussion clinic that helped people recover from, I think, traumatic brain injuries and concussions and other things. And Doug Wood convinced him, or Kevin Tinter, one of them, convinced him to come over to Optavia. He sold his practice and now he does MLM stuff. What? How did we get here? The Tinters and the Woods.
Below the baseline glucose. Guess what happens then? You go to the vending machine. You could have just ate 3,000 calories an hour ago, but you're hungry again because of this. What we're doing on the 5-in-1 is this. So you'll see that the yellow sine wave, the peaks and the valleys, is not dipping below your baseline glucose, which is why we don't have the cravings. We're less hungry. We have increased energy. And what's really fun about this program is it's predictable. We know when our clients are in fat burn or not. And we need to be a good coach, guys. When you suspect your client's not burning fat for fuel, it's our job to investigate. It's our job to problem solve.
It's your job as a not registered dietitian? It's your job as a not licensed nutritional therapist? That's your job. That's your job. My reaction video to No Shame Sales Game. I had to play games on my phone while listening to the Zoom call. It can really get to you paying complete attention to these people. Yep. If you don't take in enough calories, your body will go into starvation mode and will break down the muscle to release the glucose stored inside. Metabolism slows to conserve energy. So bad. He helped people with ADHD, awesome, and brain injury, and now does Optavia. Wow. I just knew about the brain injury stuff. I didn't realize he did other awesome stuff. Kevin Tinter recruited him into Optavia. God dang nabbit. Thin does not equal healthy. Yep. And to no other physical attribute do we sign a moral to. Wow, she has such shiny hair. Her nutrition must be off the chart, said no one ever. Yeah, I'm always doing something else while listening to MLM, but it might be the undiagnosed ADHD.
We don't just ignore the elephant in the room. You don't just ignore the facts, right? It is a delicate subject. I always say, look, we need to figure out, we need to do some problem solving here. Something's off. And inevitably, they're making a mistake, not consciously, subconsciously, and we need to get really good at catching those things, okay? All right. So I gotta go fast. 5 and 1, 5 fuelings, 1 lean and green, 800 to 1,000 calories per day. Why the varied range? Because it's whatever you had for your lean and green, how many condiments you had, etc.
The condiments?
72 grams of protein. What's nice about that is that 72 grams of protein is broken up into 6 eatings, which is great because you're getting usable protein that's at a range that's digestible.
What do you mean usable protein? Is there some protein that you eat that you can't digest? Where's Kat when we need her?
So you're getting all of it, and this preserves muscle mass. You get your males, I'm going to pick on the males, that they think they're losing muscle mass. They're not. They're getting bare minimum 72 grams of protein.
Yeah,
now,
sometimes you are. Literally, and from what I understand, when you're trying to gain muscle, everyone always gains muscle and fat when you're eating a surplus so that you can build. Okay? When you lose weight, you try to limit, or when you're cutting for a competition or for whatever reason, you're always going to lose muscle along with losing fat. You're going to do both every time. And you would want to minimize that as much as possible. Do I know anything about this? Only a smidgen, but it's not like he's literally not telling you the truth right now. Run the world, what's up? I made a game called Beyond Sunset and forgot to sign out of that account earlier. That game is probably not a good fit for this stream. Definitely a better fit for a Jessie Lee Ward stream. Okay, cool. I think I have some neurodivergent thing going on. I got my desk dumped out way too much as a kid and got called weird way too much as a teenager to be neurotypical. Yep, he sure is, mid-sized blondie. It makes me so sad because he was doing such great things and then sold his practice for more quote-unquote freedom to do Optavia, to shame, in my opinion. Yep. In my opinion as well.
If they do like an in-body scan after they deplete their glycogen, their skeletal muscle is going to be lower. But as soon as you restore said glycogen, they did not lose muscle mass. But your body will catabolize muscle if you're trying to lose weight through a caloric deficit and you're doing it the wrong way. Okay? Less than 30% calories coming from healthy fats. And on the program, again, you're consuming 80 to 100 grams of carbs in a 24-hour period. Now, condiments, lean and green is what pushes that number. Know that most human physiology, you'll get kicked out of fat burn if you consume over 100 grams of carbs in a 24-hour period.
Unless your body is used to the intake, work with a registered dietitian, for the love of God. Work with a registered dietitian if you can. If that's your goal, if you're looking to change your relationship with food, go to Optavia, go to a registered dietitian. Oh my God.
Clients saying they're hungry.
Team Neurospicy, I love that. Okay. I love condiments. Me too. I love how many neurodivergent, spicy people are in the chat. Spicy Brains Unite. I love how many of y'all are here. That's their new shtick. They say you won't lose muscle mass, but I don't think that's true. I need to ask Kat to be sure, but from what I understand, from what I've read, you're going to be losing a little bit. I don't know. I need to ask Kat.
Or they have a longer day at work, please don't tell them to eat another fueling. It's the worst advice we can give them. Because if they're having 6 fuelings and they're lean and green with condiments, there's a likelihood that they're over 100 grams of carbs and you're just kicking them out of fat burn.
Okay, but what if they need actual calories, my guy? I'm mad. So let's say they eat another fueling, and so they're eating whatever 1,100 calories. You're saying that there's too many carbs they're eating, and that's why they're not losing weight? Talk to a registered dietitian. You know what? If you're hungry, eat. If you can. Dang it. I'm so mad. I'm like hitting my keyboard. Where? Feed a critter, sell 2 meals. Catch seafood. Bring 2 gifts. Prepare a 4-star meal or better. Okay. Play.
There's other ways to do it. It's not adding another fueling. Okay? Yeah, that's it.
Are you done, buddy?
It's precision. We
Oh my
gotta
God.
weigh and measure everything. Okay?
Oh my God.
If I eat a lot of chicken Caesar salads. If I took romaine lettuce and tried to cram it into a cup, and I did that 3 times and put it in a bowl, or I weigh it out on a kitchen scale, I have significantly more food. Okay, and we need those low glycemic carbohydrates for energy the next day.
Lettuce that literally has, I think, no caloric amount, like such a low amount that like. I need to send this to Kat so she can react to it.
If your client isn't having energy, it may not that they're not in fat burn, they may not be eating all their food. So when we talk about the 5-in-1-ish, we all think of eating too much. No, 5-in-1-ish is not eating enough. You're skipping a fueling, you're not finishing your lean and green, you're not weighing and measuring. It is precision, it's precise. Don't think that you can eyeball it. You can't, okay? Condiments, our rule is, look, you get 3 condiments, use them if you need them, skip them if you can. Healthy fats, weigh and measure. We don't talk about snacks.
Skip them if you can. You're not eating enough to skip anything.
If our client happens to read the Optavia guide and they bring up snacks, we'll talk to them, but we don't bring it up as a have your healthy snack every day. We don't promote it. And then anything you like.
Optavia talks about having a healthy snack, but we don't bring it up on purpose. What is this, information control? It talks about it in the guide, but they won't? Look, if you like Optavia and you think I'm being offensive as hell, let me ask you this. If you're part of their team, you're listening to this guy, Dan, who's near the top, of the organization, and he's saying the guide talks about snacks or healthy snacks, but we won't promote it. What makes you the expert? What makes anybody who's unlicensed the expert? Oh, they're not to be trusted with adding more calories in? Are you serious? Are you serious? Yeah, they weigh their lettuce. Yeah, and there's a registered dietitian on a TikTok that's like, a stick of gum is not a snack. Imagine how miserable it would be to live without ketchup. When I was at Metabas, I didn't want you doing any condiments because too many calories. I'd been trying to lose weight for years with all sorts of fad diets. Turns out just counting calories and working out did it for me. I know everyone's dietary needs are different, but all these long seminars are wholly unhelpful. Absolutely. And here's why we're covering this. Doug and Thea have an organization that's twistier than just saying they're offering unhealthy eating advice and they are encouraging fat phobia and they are encouraging eating disorders. It's another level of twisty because of the religious manipulation and using authority figures to manipulate their downline. Because they're using people who have degrees or certifications or licenses to present information to make it seem like it is more trustworthy to believe and that the downline can accept it. It's twisty here. It's so twisty here.
Liquor, miscellaneous things, etc. Okay. So we've all coached this client. They go into fat burn. Friday comes, they have 2 glasses of wine. Boom, out of fat burn. Then they get back in the fat burn, and they have some cookies in the break room. Boom, out of fat burn. And in their defense, 150 calories per glass of wine, they're only thinking, hey, I had 300 more calories. It's not a big deal. And in the big scheme of things, it's not. But it is when it comes to fat burn, because they're kicking themselves out of fat burn, right? And then they're going to get frustrated. They're going to be hungry. They're going to have cravings. They're not going to have all the benefits of being in fat burn. So again, this client, we got to get them integrated. We got to get them into the book, into the client support page. We got to educate them of how we're doing this, why we're doing it, why it's so important that they weigh and measure and not drink that wine. Or if they choose to, great. Just know the pros and cons, okay? That was nice. I don't know what that means. So, this is the client we all want, guys. You get into fat burn, they stay in it all month. Awesome. They reap all the benefits. And guess what happens? Dan, I think you're in this slide. You're on a jet ski. This is what happens. You get a profound and amazing before and after photos. All right, so we made it to fat burn. Awesome. Our primary thing as a coach is to get your client in the fat burn, keep them there, get to your goal weight or percent body fat, and then transition them. Second most important thing we do is transition, and I could argue that it's the most important. Getting your client in the fat burn is easy, guys. Follow the 5 and 1. It happens.
Oh my God, it just happens.
A lot of you don't know how to transition. A lot of you haven't transitioned yourself. You have to learn to transition your clients. Have to.
How would they know how to do that?
And be able to give them different options for transition, because everyone's life is different. And we got to get good at that. Otherwise, we are peddling a diet, and they will gain that weight back.
You are peddling a diet. You are. Your words, not mine. You are peddling a diet. How did we get here?
If we don't transition them properly, okay? And it all comes down to education. This isn't rocket science. This isn't that hard. Be the CEO of your business. Learn what we're doing and why we're doing it so you can help more people. We've talked about all this. We're going to skip this slide. This is kind of my slide to tell me I'm running out of time. So the 5 and 1 versus the 5 and 1-ish. If they're ishing again, they're going to be hungry. They're going to have cravings. They're going to have less energy. We all know the 5 and 1 versus 5 and 1-ish again. We don't want to ish it. So my wife and I put together a video on the 5 and 1 versus the 5 and 1-ish. We literally make our clients watch it before the kickoff call. Oh, no. So we send it to them. Let's say they're starting on a Monday. We're scheduled for a 4 o'clock call on Sunday. We text them in the morning, confirm the call. Did you watch the video? If they haven't watched the video yet, we don't do the call. It's mandatory. What you're doing is you're empowering the client. You're putting them in control of their own journey. And you know what? Your call takes a lot less time. And then 4 weeks into the program, when they start to plateau, go watch the video again. You're making a mistake somewhere. Empower them to watch that video.
What?
All right, keep it simple. Stupid, I say. My wife yells at me, so it's super simple, I think it's supposed to be. I'm a big fan of just pick your lean protein, add your vegetables, add your fats, and keep it simple. Condiments, they're optional. Have them if you have to have them. Avoid them if you can avoid them. They add a lot of carbs. Caution with recipes, guys. Recipes push the boundaries. Not all of them. There's some great recipes out there.
Recipes push the boundaries on weight loss? What? How? This is so controlling. Only use condiments if you can. How are you supposed to enjoy your food without condiments?
But they pushed the boundaries of condiments. So if they had, almond milk earlier in the day with their vanilla shake, and then their recipe for their family is a casserole serving of 4, well, they probably have 3 more condiments in there. So now they're going over. Then 25% of it, you can calculate that out, but there's gray area because you don't know how much lean is in that portion, how much green is in that portion. So it's not as precise. So we don't promote recipes, but we don't not promote them, if that makes sense. Cheese, slippery slope. Cheese can be counted as a condiment, a fat, a lean. It's very hard to calculate. It's very hard to know when a client's putting laughing cow on their fueling, and then it's a mess. And I'm telling you, it's gonna slow their weight loss, if not stall it.
You can't have cheese. You can't have condiments. What are you gonna eat that tastes good? Nothing? Mid-sized blondie, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. How do you find things to eat? Dan told a coach in Mexico that the good thing is that people will always need the fuelings. What? Your organs do need a certain amount of calories. That's a sign of the glycogen depletion. Sir, I will eat 4 hot sauce, honey mustard, and barbecue sauce with my chicken nuggets. Eat chicken nuggies. Yes. How are you eating with no recipes? I bet it's just chicken breast, white meat, because it has less fat in it. It's plain vegetables with no salt and no tasting good. And that's it. I bet that counts as a meal. Or a salad and chicken. Maybe carrots. Maybe not. I don't know. You're eating without recipes because they're literally weighing their protein and non-starchy veggies. Their objective is to get people hooked on Optavia forever. I'd rather be fat and be able to hike up mountains and be thin and not allowed to effing exercise. Yep. Sorry, my door's open, so I don't want to cuss so much because my mom is here. Sherry, what's up? We're just raging about the food control here. How are you? I was on it for 10 weeks. I ate cheese and condiments every day and lost weight. I think these are just scare tactics they use. Interesting. That's good to know. I'm scared. I'm good at being thick, harder to kidnap. Love that. No carrots and no Brussels sprouts. They aren't on plan. How did I know? How did I know? It's so... The Smart Crew and I need to do Optavia. Because Beachbody is so close to this. I mean, body.
So just be careful with cheese.
Just be careful with cheese.
All right, guys.
Great.
I know I'm over, but this is important. Your job as a coach, we need to be a coach first and a friend second. I tell clients, look, we're going to be friends at the end of this journey, but I'm going to coach you. People don't come to Dan and Pam for the chocolate drizzle bar. They come to us because we're coaching them. We're getting results. You don't always want to tell the client what they want to hear. Your job is to get them clients. We're health coaches, not skinny coaches. I could go off on the use of artificial sweeteners. Terrible, guys. We're health coaches, not skating coaches. That's a whole nother talk. Results talk, progress speaks, proof is in the pudding, we get to eat pudding. And knowledge is helpful. All right, so the 501 harnesses the power of fat burn and flat out works with predictable results when a client is truly ready, coachable, and you and them follow the science behind the program. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we're done, Z's. We can't do anymore. We've gotten a quarter of the way through this video. Oh my God. Look, listen. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. Look. What have we learned? It's twisty as hell here. Condiments aren't allowed and neither are carrots, okay? Holy moly. Whoops. I sometimes don't know how to fuck in front of my mom or sister. I have an entire mocha cheesecake in my freezer, sir, and will eat that in one sitting and despite you. The calorie count is so low that you could eat that amount of fast food and lose weight. I see a nutritionist tomorrow to help me with my diabetes and kidney disease. Sherry, I love that. We have no credentials, but we are helping them. What is bad with artificial sweeteners? I'm guessing no high fiber either. Great, let's promote colon cancer too. Why not? In my opinion, these coaches are not qualified to teach anyone about nutrition. I don't think so either. And what if someone speaks up? What are they going to say? Oh, well, of course someone like you, DeeCee, who is not in a healthy weight range, would say that we're not promoting health. Of course you would have a hater mindset because you can't understand how it is to be skinny and rich like us. Okay. I say that sarcastically because to preemptively dismiss someone because of how they look or how much money they make it gets you in problems really fast. It does. You know it's bad when you can't have freaking carrots. Shiloh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Noom also says no carrots. What? No way. I believe you. Why is my light just being... Oh, sorry about my streaming setup. I don't know what's wrong. Y'all, thanks for hanging out. We've been here for 2 hours and 37 minutes, and I hope it wasn't awful. We're going to, let me quit this. Quit. Yes. Here's what we're going to do. I am sneaking into a Zoom call tomorrow. Hashtag. I can't tell you who it is yet. Midsize Blondie knows, and if you know who Midsize Blondie is, and you know what Zoom we're sneaking into. Quit Steam. So if you want to hang out with me and Savannah and other creators, we are going to be snooping our way to, and we're not going to be assholes. We're just going to see what's going on behind the password protected Zoom file. So it's going to be a good time. Bring some snacks. Now look, if you're going to bring snacks to the Zoom, it can't be Beachbody compliant, and it can't be Optavia compliant. So make sure to grab something delicious, and something delicious to eat, and something delicious to drink. Okay? I don't want to sit here and know. I mean, if you actually like healthy food, that's one thing. But bring some carrots with some ranch. Bring some maybe some chips, maybe some water. What time? Great question. Let me look at the Zoom call. I have to schedule it because I have to add Savannah Marie. Let's see. Content creators. Where are we? Where is it? It is going to be at 7 p.m. Central, so same time as the stream tonight. I'll be here with unweighed chocolate. Hell yeah. Snack will be mocha cheesecake and bourbon. Oh my god, I need some bourbon. I don't think my stomach can handle it. I'm bringing all the ketchup. I'm going to bring some delicious sauce. Maybe I'll even my stomach can handle some french fries. Like, subscribe, lovely chat. Thank you so much. Maybe she did. Who did a Noom video? Someone did a Noom video. I'll make sure Kat gets this video because it's wild as hell. Y'all, thank you so much. Where's our stream goat? We don't even know. Whoops. Nope. Where's the stream goat? Look, thank you for licking the stream. Here's our
lick the stream.
If you enjoyed the stream, I would love for you to actually like the stream. If you hated it, thumbs down on your way out. No biggie. Thank y'all for hanging out. I hope that y'all will join me and some other creators Zoom infiltrating tomorrow. It's always I think it's a fun time. I like doing it live. So we'll also have a craft stream later on this week to finish out this Optavia nightmare. We're going to be doing some other companies that some of y'all recommended in the community tab. And I will catch you on the next live stream. Goodbye. Where's my outro?